You already have the location and size of your rain garden, so now you can start installation. First, you need to delineate the actual border to begin installation. Use string, spray paint, or a hose to draw the outline of your rain garden, and play with the shape until you like the layout within your existing landscaping. Then you will need to remove the grass. You can use a shovel, sod cutter, or you can kill the grass ahead of time by laying black plastic or a tarp where the rain garden will go. This method may take a couple of weeks, so pre-planning is needed. Using herbicide may negatively affect the new plants you are planting, so this is not a recommended method of grass removal. Before digging, call Indiana 811 to have underground utilities marked. It generally takes 2 full working days to have utilities marked, so please think ahead. If you discover that utilities are within your selected location, you may need to reconsider the site location. Begin digging your rain garden. For small gardens, digging can be accomplished by hand using shovels. For larger gardens, it is more efficient to use large equipment to remove the soil. As you are digging, you should begin shaping your rain garden. The goal is for a wide, flat-bottomed area in the middle with gently sloping sides. Blue Thumb recommends the sides slope 3:1 or flatter. Using the example in the book, if your rain garden depth is 6 inches, the side slope should be 18 inches. You determined the depth of the rain garden when you calculated the infiltration rate. Check the depth frequently by using a long board that extends across the rain garden and measure from the soil level to the bottom of the board. Once you have your desired depth, dig the rain garden bed 4 to 6 inches deeper so that you can add compost. Set this soil aside. You will use the soil later if your soil test indicated good infiltration. If not, you will need to add amended soil instead, and this soil will need to be used elsewhere on the property or transported away for another use. Landscaping companies can provide amended soil that they mix for you. In some cases, to ensure the best filtration, rock is added as a base material. Here you can see that rock was added to a depth of 5 inches, then overlaid with geotextile fabric to keep sediment out of the spaces between the rocks. This helps keep the infiltration rate from declining over time. Add about 1 inch of compost plus a bit of the soil you removed or the amended soil. If you have a rototiller, till the garden bed to loosen the soil. You can also use a shovel or a pitchfork. Repeat this process a couple of times in order to work 2 to 3 inches of compost into the garden. Rake and grade the garden. If your rain garden is on a slope, you will need to build a berm out of dirt, landscaping stone, or edging on the downhill side to ensure the water is held in the rain garden. Use stakes and string to make the garden level and help to determine the height of the berm. Look at your garden and make sure you understand where water will be coming in and exiting, and ensure the water will flow in the way you want it to. Ensure that when your rain garden overflows during a large storm, that it does not overflow into your neighbor's yard. It is recommended to use landscaping rocks at the inlet and outlet to prevent erosion in these areas. At this point, you may want to make sure the infiltration rate is correct before planting. Take a hose and fill your rain garden. Check periodically to ensure that the rain garden drains within a day. If not, rework the soil, adding additional organic matter until the infiltration rate is within 1 day. Once the filtration rate is correct, plant before the soil dries out to provide a moist environment for the young roots. During planting, it is important to minimize the amount of walking done through the garden to avoid compacting the soil. One option to minimize compaction is to place the mulch down before planting. Unfortunately, you will likely end up with soil on top of your mulch due to planting if using this method. To plant, stretch a measuring tape through the middle of your rain garden along the longest length. Use the measuring tape to plant 1 plant per square foot. Set plants out in a grid that matches your design plan. Dig a small hole deep enough so that the base of the stem of your plant is a little above the ground surface. Remove the plant from the pot and gently loosen the root ball with your fingers. Set the plant in the hole and backfill to minimize air spaces around the roots. Once all the plants are planted, water the entire rain garden. If you have not already mulched, apply a 3-inch layer of mulch to keep the plants cool and moist and to help discourage weed growth. Leave about 1 inch of space around the plant stem to prevent stems from being scratched due to blowing wind. The Blue Thumb Guide recommends coarse double-shredded hardwood mulch because the coarse pieces lock together and do not float away. Lighter mulches, like pine bark nuggets or cedar chips, will float away when the garden fills with water. Also, hardwood lasts longer and needs to be replaced less often.